required mercy of Krishna and the mercy of pure via medium of the spiritual master. So that's how I understood that this is really bona fide Guru, because he could purify my mind and senses so much so that that instruction from Krishna could directly, I could understand and accept it. That's a bona fide Guru. That's the mystery of disciplic succession. When the spiritual master is bona fide, then one can hear Bhagavad Gita directly, just as Arjuna heard it. There are many mystics, Prabhupada says, and many yogis all over the world, but Krishna is the master, Yogeshwara. He's the master of all the yoga systems. Now Prabhupada says later on in the purport that Narada, he's the direct disciple of Krishna. And he was the spiritual master of Srila Vyasadeva, Narada Muni. And therefore Vyasadeva is as bona fide as Arjuna because he comes in disciplic succession. So if you come in disciplic succession, you're just as bona fide because you're directly hearing from Krishna. And Sanjay is direct disciple of Vyasadeva. Therefore, by the grace of Vyasadeva, Prabhupada says, Sanjay's senses were purified. When his senses became purified, by the grace of his spiritual master, he could see and hear Krishna directly. That's perfect hearing. So if you hear Krishna directly by the mercy of your spiritual master, he purifies your mind and your senses, that means you have perfect knowledge, you're receiving perfect knowledge from the perfect source. Therefore your knowledge will be perfect. If we hear through contaminated mind and senses, mental speculation, Maya is twisting everything around, it's not proper, sufficient hearing. Therefore we'll not really understand it. He could see and hear Krishna directly. One who directly hears Krishna can understand this confidential knowledge. So Krishna not revealing himself to us, inside or outside. So why he's not revealing, why he's not purifying, why he's not giving intelligence and faith, Prabhupada says, without directly hearing from Krishna, one who directly hears Krishna, only they can understand this confidential knowledge. So if we're not inside and out, what do we think we know about the confident fame? What do we think we know? Right? You're giving classes, lectures, right? Do you know Krishna? Are you directly hearing Krishna? Who are you hearing? The mind. I'm quoting Krishna. I'm quoting. Why are you not just submissively hearing it? Why you're challenging it? Why you're doubting it? Why you're questioning it? Prabhupada says, if one does not come to the disciplic succession, he cannot hear Krishna. Wow. Come on. If the disciplic succession, he cannot hear Krishna. If we cannot hear Krishna from Krishna disciplic succession, there's no question of faith and intelligence. Krishna says, if you're sincere and you want to surrender to me and you want to serve me, I'll give you intelligence and faith how to do it. Question of our sincerity and seriousness. Krishna's the witness, Krishna's the judge. I'm not your witness or judge, don't blame me. I'm not judging you, but Krishna's judging us. He's seeing how serious is this person, how sincere is this person, how much does this person really want to understand me and come to me and surrender to me and do what's required to qualify themselves and ultimately develop love for me. Krishna is the witness and the judge. And if we can convince Krishna, then Krishna says, I'll give you intelligence and faith, how you can do it, how you come to me. And how he does that is he gives you bona fide guru and disciplic succession. Because Prabhupada says, if you do not come and hear in that disciplic succession, you cannot hear Krishna. So you're going to just sit in the room and then Krishna's just going to talk to you and tell you everything? Right? I'll just meditate, pray, okay, Krishna, what should I do? Right? What should I do? Right? And Krishna's like, go to that guru, surrender there, purify your senses, try to please pray for you, then he'll ask Krishna to shower mercy and blessing on you, then your mind and senses will become purified, you'll develop enough simplicity and purity and eagerness to want to hear Krishna. And then Krishna will directly tell you. Prabhupada said, Krishna will directly tell you. It is direct, but it's just through the pure medium of the Guru. So without understanding Guru Tattva, without understanding Paramatma Tattva, then how are you going to understand Krishna? How do you think Krishna is going to reveal himself to you? Directly? By the strength of your sadhana? By the strength of your studying? That's not the process. Krishna says, you want to understand me in tattva, in truth, then you go and surrender to my devotee in disciplic succession. By the mercy of Krishna, one gets a bona fide guru. By the mercy of bona fide guru, then you get Krishna. That's the process. 2 mercies required. We don't want to follow Krishna's instruction. We don't want to surrender and follow Guru's instruction. Then why do we think Krishna is going to give us intelligence and faith? We're not following the process. It's a science. Prabhupada said this is exacting science. You're speculating to understand God. You're guessing. You're overly confident by your pride and false ego that you'll just understand it if you read it enough and pray enough and think enough and speculate enough. That's not the process. It's a question of surrendering, understanding that Krishna is going to speak through his disciplic succession and nowhere else. So there's only one question. Where am I supposed to surrender? Who am I supposed to surrender to? And who am I supposed to do this submissive or reception from? There's only one question. If that's how Krishna is going to give us intelligence and faith through his disciplic succession, then the only question is, Krishna, who is your disciplic succession? Where exactly are you going to speak through? That's the only question. So Prabhupada said that if one does not come to the disciplic succession, he cannot hear Krishna. And what does Krishna say? If you cannot hear me, you're lost. Because of your false ego, you can't hear me, you're lost. If we don't go to the Guru, and he doesn't help us to get rid of the false ego and purify our mind and senses, how are we going to hear Krishna directly? It's impossible. Because the process to qualify ourselves to hear Krishna directly, when we're either not understanding or we're not accepting it. We're trying to reinvent our own process. We're trying to make a new science. Isn't it? It's very, very straightforward instruction. Don't get hung up in, well, what does he think? He's disciplic succession? You know, he's the only one. Right? Let it be 1 or 5 or 10 or 100. It doesn't matter. It's the principle, the dynamic, the science That's up to Krishna who he wants to speak to. But we gotta catch one of those, for sure. Because Prabhupada says here, if you do not come and hear in that disciplic succession, you cannot hear Krishna. If we cannot hear Krishna, where is our intelligence and faith going to come from in Krishna? Only Krishna can give intelligence and faith. Only Krishna can give you Krishna prema. If you can't hear Krishna, how are you going to get intelligence, faith, transcendental knowledge, faith in the process, and Krishna prema? Where is it? It's just going to magically appear? Like a Harry Potter with the stick?
The stick.
So Prabhupada said that Krishna is this is mystical. This is mystical, spiritual. This is not ordinary thing. This is how God directly speaks to your soul. It's not ordinary. It's extraordinary. It's confidential knowledge. It's written, but not everyone understands how to access it. So unless we hear from someone who knows how to access it, how are you going to understand it? How are you going to get the faith in the process? So Prabhupada said that Krishna is the master of all such mysticism. It is to be understood, however, that as Arjuna, he was fortunate enough to understand Krishna directly. Krishna was directly preaching to Arjuna. So too, by the grace of Vyasadeva, the spiritual master of Sanjay, that Sanjay was also able to hear Krishna directly, just like Arjuna. Directly. So who are these persons who can directly hear from Krishna? How are you going to understand that? Whether someone directly hearing from Krishna or not. How will you realize that? How will you measure that? If you can't hear from Krishna, how are you going to find out if someone else can hear from Krishna? How will you judge that? And then if someone says that, like Sanjay, because I got mercy of my Guru, I can directly hear Krishna. Come on. Come on.
No one's like that.
No one's like that.
Come on.
This guy thinks he's hearing Krishna. I mean, we're dedicated our whole life, right? So many decades, right? It's like, come on. He thinks he can hear Krishna. Right? So then if you really think that, then why the hell are we here? If nobody can hear Krishna, and there's no way that we could come to hear Krishna, then what exactly are we doing here? This has to be practical. This is practical. Come on. Nobody's like that. How are you going to measure it? Then Maya said, hey, this guy thinks he's hearing Krishna. I think he's a little... That's what Maya will say. This guy's on such a chip. This guy's on such a chip. He thinks he's hearing from Krishna. What if it's true? Wouldn't you want somebody that can hear Krishna to help you to understand what Krishna wants you to do? Wouldn't you expect and hope he can hear from Krishna? Otherwise you go and say, Maharaj, what is Krishna? His answer. It's like a magician, he's just going to pull it out of a hat like a rabbit. You need an answer? Okay. He's gonna just break open some Chinese cookie, you know?
Fortune
pull out-
cookie.
okay. Right, fortune cookie.
Yes.
You should surrender to Krishna. What kind of fortune cookie is that? So actually, there is no difference. There is no difference between hearing directly from Krishna and hearing directly from Krishna via a bona fide spiritual master like Vyasadeva in Parampara, disciplic succession. No difference. Come on. This guy thinks he's like Arjuna. Right? Prabhupada says no difference. It's Krishna. It's Krishna. So Krishna says, if you can't hear me, you're lost. So what are you going to do? Go pick a guru who's also lost and he's going to give you a nice clear path, what to do, how to do? My mental speculation is not so good. Maybe yours is better than mine, you know. Maybe you can speculate some good fortune or some better plan, because I can't come up with a plan. You think that's what it means to go to the Guru? Isn't the point that what does Krishna want me to do? What is my service? How can I please Krishna? How are we going to know that if Krishna doesn't tell us through the Guru? So that means you have to have faith in Krishna and faith in the Guru. If you don't have faith in Krishna, you don't have faith in the Guru, means you don't have faith in the process. You're lost. Doubts, all doubts, 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 demons of doubt. Then we're back to groping in the dark. Just speculating. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe here, maybe there, maybe this, maybe that. So Prabhupada says, if you hear from Krishna through disciplic succession, you'll know exactly what Krishna wants you to do. Then while you're doing that service, you should say, Krishna has given me this service through my spiritual master's instructions, and I'm doing it for both of their pleasure. Because I need their mercy. I want to please them. I want to serve them. That's devotional service. So what are we exactly calling devotional service? That example is there. It's like, you know, the spiritual master wants like say, cool water. And then you bring hot milk. Okay, so you did some seva, but it wasn't exactly what was required. Right? So Krishna says, better you do your service, even if you do it imperfectly, than to try to do someone else's service, even if you do it perfectly. That's Krishna instruction. Mataji, how do you like all of this stuff? Is it alright? Does she like your friend? Does it make sense?
I like.
Something? Do you want to know Krishna, right?
Yeah.
You want to hear Krishna? Do you want to hear Krishna?
I want.
You want?
Huh?
Yes.
She
Yes.
wants?
Mhm.
You want to hear Krishna? Then you need to surrender to bona fide Guru. Then Krishna will speak to that Guru. Then he'll tell you everything. Not directly. Prabhupada said not directly. So if we don't follow Krishna instructions, Krishna will hide himself. You don't have enough faith in me, Krishna says, to follow my instruction? Then why I should reveal myself to you? Wow, I got a little fired up tonight, huh? Wow. Wow. Hare Krishna. I think it was Prabhupada's mercy yesterday. And a lot of prasad. This is the secret. Nice prasad. And means mercy. Means mercy. Any question? Doubts? Complaints? We field it all. Yes, sir.
My spiritual master is not in
You're not communicating.